Not so long ago, we told you that the Haval Jolion Pro could dethrone the new Corolla Cross. But with MG's new ZS Pro, this is a new contender, and we want to see, can this also dethrone the Corolla Cross? My name's Eugene, welcome to TVEC. This is the home of extravagant reviews.
Four liters of fuel. Eugene, you're paying for this.
And will you join us in the new MG ZS Pro? And this is the top of the range trim, the luxury.
Which is very nice.
Yes, it does owe to its name really well. It is very luxurious in many ways.
Yes.
Now you do get two trim levels. You get the comfort and the luxury. And that's quite nice of them to do because you don't have to fiddle through 15 different options. You get the comfort or you get the luxury. 397,000 Rand and 421,500 starting for this one. And there aren't that many differences apart from some trim, obviously.
Yes.
And then the biggest one is actually on the interior with the infotainment screen. Now, the comfort gets a 10.25 inch, whereas this, the luxury, gets a 12.3 inch integrated into the dashboard. And it's just honestly a great infotainment system, great looking one specifically. And they both get this really, really nice 7-inch virtual cockpit, which is really Audi-like in a lot of ways. And I really like it.
It kind of does remind me of Audi in a way. It kind of does.
It's just a good system.
It is a good system.
Now you have some very comfortable seats, which are perforated leather, and they are super comfortable, as has become most of the Chinese product seats. We just know that generally they're going to be quite comfortable, and as they progress, they just get better and better.
Yeah.
You have soft touch on the entirety of the upper dash, as well as on the middle dash, with white stitch running all the way across, even onto your door cards over here. One complaint about materials:
very cheap material on the door.
the top of the door is a scratchy plastic, where something like a Jaecoo J5 does have soft touch there. So yeah, you might want to consider that. It's not a huge issue. You do have a nice soft lining of the top here, as well as a really, really nice big sunroof.
It's a very big sunroof.
And for a day like this, you need a sunroof.
Yeah, but something I really do want to talk about is the layout of this cabin. It's very ergonomically friendly.
Very ergonomic and very cool.
The way the infotainment system is laid out, the gauge cluster, it still makes you feel like it's a car.
And makes you feel like a car. It doesn't make you feel like you're at a tablet and a tablet.
Yeah.
You've got an actual gauge cluster that tells you what you need. You've got the infotainment that is integrated into the dashboard, so it doesn't look like just a tablet with these physical buttons and lining around it, so it just fits nicely in the cabin. It feels like it's meant to be there.
And considering the space, you have a lot of it.
You have a lot of it. And then also the vents, they must be my favorite vents. They feel like Urus vents.
The Lamborghini Urus looking
The
vents.
way they laid out, the way they designed, it looks like an Urus.
It
And
does.
this, the gear selector, must be the biggest gear selector I've ever held in my hand.
Yeah,
Yet,
literally.
it's so easy to use.
It's this big.
It's huge, but it's cool.
Yeah, it is cool.
One last thing to actually touch on before we end off the segment is actually how comfortable the suspension is, how compliant it is. Not just on bumpy roads, on smooth roads, through corners, and even with a little bit of off-roading, of which we did take it.
A tiny bit. But you know what? Let's head outside. Well. The ZS Pro. Another MG in our favorite spot to film. Such a beautiful place.
It's just the perfect example of God's capabilities and his wonderful creation.
I can definitely agree with you there. But to speak about looks, when it comes to the front end, it kind of looks like Bane and a catfish had a baby, and this is the final product.
And then it got snake eyes as its front LED headlights.
Got snake eyes as yes. But when you look at it, you can definitely tell that this is an MG design.
And that's exactly why we said another MG. Because we've actually filmed the Cyberster, the MG3, and the MG HS in this exact spot.
Yeah.
Well, not this exact spot, over there somewhere.
Yeah,
but in this spot.
In the vicinity.
And that's what I like about the car, is that you know it's an MG from the front end straight away.
Yep.
It looks like nothing else, and that makes it quirky, fun, and interesting. Something else that I really love about the car is actually the huge MG badge.
Yeah.
Because while everyone else is going quiet with their branding and simpler, MG decided to put a fat badge on the front and on the back so that you know that this is an MG product.
Especially when you compare this to a Haval Jolion Pro. This looks more youthful, it looks more quirky, and looks more elegant.
Yet at the same time, to me, it kind of feels familiar.
It does.
The car is new, but it feels like it's always been here, and I can only give it that it might be that we have the HS already and that we've been seeing it on the road more often.
I think so.
And so we're more used to the MG design.
I think so too. I think so too.
But something that I do like about the car is actually the mix of trim, where this is the luxury spec, and so you get black and silver accents on the front grille, a working vent over here with silver on the front splitter.
Yep.
I'm calling it a splitter.
A splitter.
You've got your black arches, these beautiful silver and black alloy rims, as well as a side skirt with your silver and black trim, silver roof racks, and beautiful silver trim along the side here.
But you know, there's something that's irking me on the side that kind of reminds me of a Lamborghini Urus, which is the wing mirrors, because they are shaped like how the Urus mirrors are shaped.
And that's kind of an if you know, you know.
It is the if you know.
But actually, something that's a bit more plain about the car is actually the rear end.
Yep. Very simple looking.
Very simple. Good design overall. Obviously, you can see the cameras here because this does have a 360-degree camera.
Yep.
You've got the huge MG badge, which I'm a fan of. And then you've got the silver and black trim with some fake exhaust.
I don't like that.
And a race car's light.
I don't like that.
I will say, at least these look like exhaust. Some brands don't really try that hard to make the fake exhaust look real.
Haval.
Yes, sometimes unfortunately that is true. What I will say though about the Chinese group specifically, and something like the Jaecoo J5 or something from the Cherry group, is I do feel that their lights do feel a bit more advanced, a bit more premium, and of higher quality. Now these lights are not bad, and I love the design of them and how elegant they look, but they just feel a bit more premium when you look at those.
Yeah, but I know you told me that you do still prefer the J5's looks because it just has that mini Range Rover vibe.
That mini Range Rover vibe. It's just an excellent design, but I can fully understand if someone doesn't want to be a Range Rover for whatever reason, and wants to stand out a bit more and have something a bit more unique and colorful, and why you choose the MG ZS. Seeing as this is a compact SUV, we have to see how practical it is, especially for those ladies out there that will be doing a lot of grocery shopping and picking up the kids with all the school bags. Now, this car has 443 liters of boot capacity with the seats up, and comparing that to some of its rivals, for instance, the J5, the Haval Jolion Pro, and the king of the CUV segment currently, the Corolla Cross.
And if you've been enjoying this far, make sure you head down below, click the like button, subscribe button, so you always get notified when we make reviews and uploads like this.
And actually, we want to say a huge thank you and a big shout out to MG Rivonia for giving us this wonderful car. Their details will be in the description below, and also the videos we've done for them before will be there too.
Yes, and with a bang, wow. We are in sport mode in the new ZS Pro.
And it is actually one of the more sporty, compact utility vehicles that we have driven as of recent.
Especially compared to the Haval Jolion Pro and the J5.
Especially compared to those two. And that's one, because of how it looks inside here, with the actual virtual cockpit, and how everything was thought out properly in here to make it look sporty but be ergonomic. Whereas some of the newer Chinese cars kind of just have tablet and a tablet to look at everything. This feels a bit more sporty, but also it is more powerful.
It is more powerful, yes. So it does have, like every other Chinese car, a 1.5 turbocharged inline 4 with about 125 kilowatts, which is 168 horsepower and 250 newton meters of torque. That is more than the J5 and the Jolion Pro, and you definitely feel that.
And actually, they've revised the CVT gearbox in this car
quite a lot.
Should I say, they haven't revised it. They've made it good.
They made it better.
Yes, they made it better than the older CVTs that the Chinese are used to using, or used to use, I should say. And that's something that we found with the later Chinese products, is that their gearbox technology and gearbox mechanics have just become so much better as of recent.
Yeah, I think they really have taken into consideration that people still want a car to drive normally, and when you do want to put it into sport mode,
that it reacts sportsus.
It does. And the steering weights up very nicely in this car. I'm not gonna lie. Like normally in a Chinese car that you put into sport mode, it still feels normal.
It feels light, and it almost feels like you're not connected to the car.
Yeah, that is true. But in this one, it actually weights up very nicely. And comparing it to the Haval Jolion Pro, I rather prefer this driving experience. It's way more put together. It's way more better in general as a car.
It feels more mature. Yes. And more grown up as well inside here, as well as it feels a bit more spacious.
It does feel way more spacious. I mean, we're sitting in the back and you could lie there for days on end.
It's very comfortable in the back.
It's very comfortable, and I really do love how this car just drives. Oh, you do feel that power. So after this beautiful day,
a beautiful day that has just gotten more and more beautiful as it's gone on.
Yeah, because when we started it was cloudy, but now it's blue skies everywhere.
Blue skies, greenery, the sun's out. And to be honest, more and more smiles in the MG ZS Pro.
especially comparing this to the Haval Jolion Pro, which in my opinion is the closest competitor to this.
And I think that this is the better vehicle in my opinion.
It is a better vehicle.
It's a tough one.
Yeah.
The Jolion Pro is not a bad car at all.
Yeah.
But the way this interior is laid out and designed, how everything is put together, the ergonomics of it, and the actual virtual cockpit, which I absolutely love,
Yeah.
coupled with it feeling a bit bigger, more spacious, and a bit more mature on the road, I just think that it overall is a slightly better package for the money.
I can definitely agree with you there. So thanks again to MG Ravonia for providing us with this lovely ZS Pro. The information will be in our description box, so head over to them. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We hope you enjoyed. We'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.